Dexter might not know much about sports, but he sure as hell knows how to fumble the ball. He fumbled Freebo earlier in the season, and now he has fumbled the marriage proposal to Rita. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here for another Dexter review. This time, Season 3, Episode 4. This one is called All in the Family. Dexter pretty much had a chance here to make the family official. He knows that Rita is pregnant. He thought a marriage proposal would be a good idea, but in typical Dexter fashion, he kind of botched the delivery of it, and it pretty much got shot down and got a no from Rita.
Yeah, I got a no from Rita quicker than you could say, Miguel Parado, would you please say sorry, big man? Oh, I'm sorry, Dexter. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Dexter. So, Rita says no after Dexter just makes an ass of it. Like, it's supposed to be romantic. You're supposed to mean it. Dexter kind of just threw it out there as a suggestion almost because Rita's pregnant. Cody said he'd rather have a puppy, though, and most people probably would as well.
Yeah, I don't think the way Dexter did it was, like, overly horrendous, but you can see why people would take it bad.
Yeah, Rita, though, tells Dexter that she can't marry him because of a pregnancy, because that's why she married Paul, and look at how that turned out, so not very good.
That's weak-minded though, isn't it? Oh, we've got to get married so the child ain't a bastard, right? So let's just marry this, abuser.
Yes, we see Dexter at Miguel's party. Miguel's hosting a party at his place, not quite sure why, considering his brother's not even dead that long, but they're having a party. Ramon is not having it. He wants to do more. He thinks they should be out finding Freebo. Miguel trying to talk him out of it because Miguel knows they aren't ever going to find Freebo because Freebo's dead. Although this does lead to Miguel thinking that perhaps him and Dexter should come clean to Ramon. Dexter, though, doesn't like this idea. He thinks, right, it's bad enough that Miguel knows my secrets. We can't have another person knowing that I'm a murderer, because that's just, it's one thing having Miguel, but then you add in Ramon, and then you add in the entire Prado family, and then you add in every Mexican living in America. At that point, pretty much everybody will know that Dexter's a killer, and once they know he's capable of killing people in self-defense, then they might find out more about his killing ways. So I think it's good that Dexter just contains his little secret right now to Miguel and Harry.
I like the fact Miguel's so forgiving. He's like, don't worry about it, Dex. We'll tell him when you're ready to tell him.
Yeah, and this is not when I'm ready.
You can trust Miguel. I think you can clearly... Obviously, Miguel's a bit blind. It's his brother, but you can clearly see that Ramon, even if he was told the information, man, he's drinking, he's loud-mouthed, he's... Again, he would probably want some form of justice to be brought down on Freebo, even if he is dead.
Yeah, but Dexter then pretty much spends the entire episode making sure that Miguel never tells Ramon by trying just to piss off Ramon every way he possibly can.
Yeah, and he does it in great ways at the bar, and we've seen him when he was even getting what his kebab was he was getting with his, can I have extra peppers, and he's just twisting the knife into Ramon.
Yeah, we also got After acting up like a kid because Rita's pregnant. Who really cares for that? This is why I don't really enjoy kid actors in shows. Grow up.
You're not my father line. It's like, your father was a fucking deadbeat.
You should be grateful Dexter's in your life, but it's
he may be a murderer, but you don't know.
It's just some bullshit kid stuff getting thrown in Dexter's face. We then get a new crime scene. The victim is Jack Rice. He was bashed in his head with a crowbar, and we get introduced to his fiancée, Fiona Kemp. They were set to get married. She is extremely upset. Deborah is trying to console her, I guess, not doing a good job of it, and then good cop Quinn steps in, and Quinn seems to be the man that can do no wrong. He's saying all the right things. At first I thought he was trying to hit on Fiona, but it turns out that he's just a nice cop. He's a nice guy. He knows how to say the right things. He knows how to console people. He knows how to calm people down. He knows everything that basically Deborah doesn't. Deborah's not very good at dealing with situations like this, whereas Quinn he seems like a pro.
Yeah, Quinn is a pro, but again, I think good cop, bad cop works, and I think if you're an actual great cop, you'll be able to do both. And I think Quinn could do both. Deborah can only do one.
Deborah is given another chance, though, to take down good cop, bad cop Quinn when UK contacts her again, asking for any news, but Deborah tells her not to contact her and that she's not going to be grassing up Quinn. And just as soon as she says that, Quinn appears in a really nice looking car, a car that Deborah probably couldn't afford, and maybe she's beginning to question whether or not she should grass in Quinn.
She shouldn't grass in Quinn, right? Quinn can do his own thing, but see, at the end of the day, if he manipulates his co-workers to get to, elevate himself up the card, so to speak, elevate himself up the good books, then so what? That's just every job. That's not a Quinn problem. That's just a real life problem.
I agree. Later on, when Deborah is questioning Fiona, Fiona's breaking down, Deborah's getting aggressive with her, Quinn steps in and he orders Deborah out the room almost as if he's like the superior officer here, even though I believe they're both on the same level. He orders her out the room. Again, he plays nice guy and he basically gets Fiona to let her guard down. Now that he's got Deborah out of the equation, he kind of takes over the investigation and it leads to him finding out that Fiona did indeed do it. The information stacks up. Deborah was helping Dexter with some blunt force trauma, with the blood splatter and shit like that, and it turns out that the person that killed Joey, her fiance, turns out that they weren't 6'1", they were actually like 5'7", and that's more Deborah's height, but more importantly, it's more Fiona's height. So by the time they find out that Fiona is the killer, Quinn has basically already cracked the case, and he managed to do it because he got Deborah out of there. Deborah questions, was this his motive all along? He says he had an idea that Fiona was the one that did it, but he just needed to basically get her trust so that he could find out more, so she would let her guard down around him. I mean, it worked, but Deborah was pissed off, saying, next time you want to play good cop, fucking bad cop, let me know I'm the bad cop.
I mean, I get Deborah's point, but at the end of the day, like, they're working as a team to get this into, confession out of him. I would say Deborah did 25% of the work, but Quinn did 75%. She broke her, but Quinn actually got the confession, and that's what matters.
That is what matters. Rita at work, though, having a bad time. On the phone with Astor, not happy at all the fallout. She then lashes out at the obnoxious wife of a newlywed couple who were complaining about not being able to see the sunset or the sunrise in their room. It's like, get fucking over it. By God, you missed the sun. It's not the end of the world. She wanted a new room. She wanted to upgrade it. Rita says, being a bitch ain't going to get you that. And she got fired.
Yep. Customer's always right. They're not. I don't buy that logic. Fair play to Rita here.
See the way Rita acted here? This is how the majority of employees do want to act, but you just can't in 2024. And keep in mind, this is like 2008, where you could probably get away with a lot more shit.
Oh, absolutely.
I would argue in the last 15 years, what you can get away with has drastically went down.
It's shrunk.
So, yeah, if you're back in the 80s, if people were robbing your store, you could fucking hit them with baseball bats and nothing would happen.
Kill them.
Nowadays, you're not even allowed to ask them to put items back, and
take as much as you want.
You're the one being fired. Dexter bumps into Ramon deliberately at a bar when he's picking up food, and he just ruffles his feathers again. He talks about the murder of his brother and how him and Miguel are growing closer, and that Miguel is telling him all these little family secrets. Dexter just, sticking the knife in and twisting it slowly. Dexter's a bit of an arsehole that way.
He is. He knows how to do it, though. That's the whole point. He's not. There's nothing worse when someone does this, though, and they're unaware.
Yeah. We get more of the Chicky Hines case stuff, but honestly, I don't care about Chicky Hines. The guy's a scumbag.
And why does Maria care so? It's fucking pathetic.
Yeah, Maria wants Miguel to do something about it, but Miguel isn't having it, and he wonders whether what happened with Dokes is affecting her judgment. So with that said, it looks like Miguel isn't interested. So Maria then goes to Miguel's rival, the jury that was trying to the defendant that was trying to get Chucky Hines off, and she gives her the information, and then they share a drink. So this is basically fucked up Miguel's case.
Yeah, and now he's going to get a bad reputation and probably lose a lot of money because of Maria's insecure. It's like, at least if she was like clean to this stage, you could half accept it, because maybe this Chicky Hines guy isn't guilty, but it's like, look what she did last season. I fucking hate. Look at her.
Yeah.
She's more charisma than the woman last season, right?
Pascal Esme.
Aye, but
hardly.
How much better would this have been, man, if a died and Dokes was the guy in charge? Holy Christ.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What's the superior guy called?
Captain Matthews.
Aye, fucking get him back.
Captain Matthews.
Lagarta's grinding my gears, but I've got a feeling she'll be there quite long.
Oh, could be a long stay. Masuka is struggling to give out tickets for his forensics conference, so he has to give them out with donuts. Donuts is Dexter's gimmick, but Masuka has stolen it, but the catch is, in order to take a donut, you have to take a ticket. Masuka at first refuses Dexter a donut because Dexter already took a ticket, but when it turns out that donuts aren't enough to buy people to get them to come to this forensic conference, he just gives Dexter a donut anyway. He admits defeat.
He admits defeat here, Masuka, and he's a creep. He's a creepy who likes donuts, damn it.
Yeah, Masuka asks Quinn why nobody likes him, and Quinn's just straight up honest with him. It's because you're one of the most vulgar people that I've ever met in my life. Yeah, you can be funny, but at times you can be straight up disgusting. And I think Quinn was pretty fair here, the way he kind of told this to Masuka. He wasn't too mean, but he was kind of abrupt as well.
Hit the nail on the head.
So while Masuka here changes ways, we don't know. Deborah meets up with Anton, and not really happens here. We get like maybe a bit of a tease that they're going to get together, perhaps. She asks him some information on Quinn, wanting to know what Quinn is up to, what's his deal, is he a bad guy? But Anton has got nothing but praise for Quinn, saying that Quinn saved him and helped them out in a really tricky situation. Speaking of a tricky situation, Angel, for some reason, decided to try and get with a hooker, and it didn't go too well for him because it turned out to be an undercover Feist detective, and Angel almost, lost everything here.
Yeah, and I don't know, this just felt off. It came out of nowhere.
And she gave him multiple warnings, like, keep your money in your pocket. But Angel's like, nah, not tonight. I might be a cop, but not tonight. Well, I'm a cop 24/7, so, unfortunately, Angel could have been brought down here. She went to see him the following day. Angel wanted to know if he was going to be in trouble, but she told him as long as he keeps his dick in his pants, then they'll be okay.
I like Angel Batista, right? But I think he came across as extremely pathetic in this episode. Like, I get it.
He lost everything.
I get it. He would have lost even more, but it's like he didn't even die on his sword here. He's like fucking practically begging this woman not to get him sacked.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't really like the direction they're going with Batista. No. I walk alone.
Yeah, no. Ramon storms into the department. He confronts Maria. He confronts everyone else there. We get some masculinity. We have Ramon and Quinn almost like squaring up here. We've got Batista telling him to get out. Ramon then shoulder barges Deborah on the way out, and Ramon's very angry that he believes homicide isn't doing their job. And I mean, from Ramon's point of view, I think he's got a case here because he has been receiving anonymous phone calls with information about Freebo and Tegan, and nobody at Homicide's doing anything about it. The only problem is those phone calls, those anonymous tips are coming from Dexter.
Yep, they're from Dexter. He's playing Ramon like a fiddle here.
And Ramon's falling for it.
Yep,
he's got him on strings.
He's got him on strings, and Ramon is like a puppet being played by Dexter.
After that, not a lot else happens. Dexter goes and visits Miguel.
I really hate it though, the scene with Maria like celebrating with the whole defense attorney though. I have to point that out when they're drinking. Oh hell sure, I'll take a drink, fuck off.
Yeah, no, I don't get it. It's like,
it's one thing turning them over, right? But actually like celebrating against Miguel is just fucking bizarre.
It's not even that, but they're also celebrating getting a scumbag off with a case.
Yeah.
No, but like, who cares if this guy didn't commit this crime if he's committed multiple in the past? It's like, it's not like this Chicky Hines guy is a nice family man that was framed for something he didn't do.
Yeah.
He's a guy with like a shitload of previous convictions, probably a scumbag, and getting him off, Chicky Hines is probably going to go on and do something. Someone's going to, obviously be a victim of Chicky Hines in the future.
Well, but there's money to be made though.
But
that's all they'll care about.
They were celebrating as if they'd got like a really innocent man off of a long-term jail sentence. I didn't really get this. We find Deborah talked a little bit more about Quinn. She's not happy with Quinn. Is she considering working with Yuki to take Quinn down. Possibly Miguel and Dexter get together again, and they go to they go to visit Ramon in a bar who's hammered. Dexter obviously knew this was going to happen, and again he just plays up and he kind of gets in Ramon's face, and Ramon shoves Dexter, and Dexter walks out and feeds a bunch of lies to a bouncer, telling him that Ramon has his hands on this woman and that he's seen a gun. This leads to the bouncer coming over. Ramon takes a swing at him. The bouncer ducks, then manages to restrain Ramon while Miguel looks on, just, I don't know, having a panic attack.
I'm sorry.
Miguel's like, cannot believe it's happening. I also found it a little bit hard to believe that this one bouncer managed to restrain Ramon so easily.
Especially, yeah, when...
And apparently had a gun. Like, would a bouncer just walk up unarmed?
Yeah, I know, and then you've also got Miguel sitting there. It's like...
The only thing Dexter, though, he's watching through the window. The only thing Dexter's missing here's a box of popcorn or something.
Aye.
He's enjoying
a box of donuts.
Yeah, he is enjoying the show. Dexter and Miguel then sit on the beach afterwards, and Miguel admits that Ramon simply cannot be trusted with this information that Freebo is now dead, and Miguel tells Dexter that the only person he can trust, there's only one guy he can trust, and Dexter's like, yourself. Miguel's like, no, Dex, you. And all of a sudden...
That was quite a funny line.
Yeah, all of a sudden Dexter and Ramon seem to be growing. And then we get Dexter. It's kind of weird. He uses some of Fiona's crazy lines, the crazy girl that killed her fiance, and he basically quotes her when he proposes again to Rita, and Rita says, yes, we will marry you.
Yeah, so Dexter, Rita, going to get married. Ends on a wee positive note there. I like this episode.
I like this episode. But that's it, guys. Basically, there you go. Ramon is off the hook. He's off the hinge. He's unhinged. He's not a guy that you can trust, especially with information. Even if
trust him, Miguel, you can tell.
If Miguel did tell him, I just can't imagine that Ramon's going to be like, oh, that's okay, and move on. Yeah. I imagine he would want every ounce of information from Dexter.
Yeah, Miguel was fine with not seeing the body.
Well, after, but
yeah, he accepted it though. I mean, I think Ramon would dig it up.
Probably. Get his own digger.
Aye.
Crane. Anyway, right, time to dig up a rating for this episode.
What are you getting it?
I'm going to get 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll get a 7 out of 10 as well.
There you go, copy me. 7 out of 10, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.